This is Mirabella's kitchen, and today I'm making chicken piccata. If you'd like to cook with me, please check the description below for a list of the ingredients and a shout out to my Patreons. I start by juicing 2 lemons. I mince 3 cloves of garlic. I take 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I remove the fat and I thinly slice them using long horizontal cuts into 2 to 3 pieces per breast. I tenderize them into 1/4 of an inch thick flat pieces. I take 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour and add it to a mixing bowl. I generously add some freshly ground black pepper to the flour, as well as some coarse kosher salt. I whisk together until homogeneous. I take a saute pan and heat it over medium heat. Once it is hot, I add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I take the chicken and dredge both sides in the flour, salt, and pepper mixture. Lay the chicken away from me in the hot oil to prevent splashing. I typically cook 2 pieces at a time, and I cook them for 3 to 4 minutes on each side until golden brown. Once the chicken has hit 160 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, I remove it from the heat and place it on a plate to set aside for later. Into the pan drippings go the garlic and the non-Perel capers. I use 1 whole jar, including the brine, because it's super important to me in this recipe. And I saute them for about 30 seconds until the garlic is fragrant, and then I add 2 cups of chicken stock. I turn the heat up to medium-high and bring it up to a boil. I'm going to reduce the stock over 5 to 10 minutes to a little more than half, and I scrape the bottom of the pan to see if there's any fond. I then add the lemon juice once the sauce has started to reduce. In addition, I have a half a cup of chicken stock and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I mix them together using a fork to make a nice smooth texture. This is going to be used to thicken the sauce. I very slowly add the cornstarch because I'm using a higher heat, and I have found cornstarch to clump up when I add it too quickly or over too high of a heat. So I go very slowly, making sure to stir continuously as I add the mixture. I cook it for 2 to 3 more minutes to let it really thicken up. And once the sauce has a very nice gentle roll to it when it's stirred is when I know it's time to take it off the heat. I add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and I also add half a cup of heavy creamy chicken piccata, and I mix until combined. I add the chicken back into the sauce and coat both sides with the sauce and also let it warm through. So I'm also going to show you guys how I make mashed potatoes in a stand mixer. I found this is what I use my stand mixer for the most since starting to use one. So this is just a tip for people who do have a stand mixer and have never thought to make mashed potatoes. I take 3 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes, I peel them, I rinse them, I cut them into quarters and add them into a large pot. I'm then adding a cup and a half of chicken stock. I saw online to use that to really help season the potatoes even more, and I wanted to try it. So I just used the remainder of what was in my container of chicken stock, and then I generously season with some more coarse kosher salt, and I fill the rest up with water to cover the potatoes. I turn the heat up to high and let the potatoes boil for 20 to 30 minutes until the potatoes fall apart when pierced with a fork. I then drain the potatoes and add them into my stand mixer. I start with the beater attachment, and I'm going to beat over the lowest speed first for about a minute. Then I turn it up to medium-high speed. I have a commercial stand mixer, so my speeds are different than the artisan speeds. So whatever your medium-high speed is, do that for 2 minutes with the beater attachment and then switch to the whisk attachment for another 2 minutes. After that, add some unsalted butter. I use 2 tablespoons, half a cup to a cup of heavy cream, and some salt and pepper. Whisk for another 2 minutes with the whisk attachment. And for the finale, you go to the highest speed you have and let it whisk for another 30 seconds to a minute to make them really nice and fluffy. And honestly, it's awesome, and they're silky and they're perfect. So if you have a stand mixer, try it. So I add a couple spoonfuls of the potatoes onto the plate to make a little nest for the chicken and the sauce to lay in, and it's going to be a nice glorious mixture, and it's going to be awesome. Add some chicken onto the potatoes. Make sure you get a few more capers with a lot more of that sauce added, and honestly, it's creamy, it's delicious, it's briny, it's tart, it's like everything you want, and top with some Italian parsley, and that's chicken piccata. Thanks for joining me today. I make new videos on cooking every Wednesday. Please support me on Patreon and on Facebook at Mirabella's Kitchen.